So what can we do? Like, what is the modern method? If we're moving to a trauma-informed lens, like basically what that means is like our number one job is to help each person to feel safe within their bodies and with their environments. Like nothing else should be happening. So if we're an educator, number one job is to make sure the students in your classroom are feeling safe within their bodies and within their environments before we can offer learning. Or perhaps we're a therapist, and our number one job is to make sure our clients feel safe with us, and in our rooms, our environments, and in their bodies, etc. So that should be our number one job before anything else. We really need to like, so what are some practical tips in this shift space? I love this quote by Gabor Maté. So trauma is not what happens to you, it's what happens inside you as a result of what happened to you. And so he's really like encouraging us in a way to think deeply and like really consider a person's insides and their internal response to everything that could be very possibly traumatic around that person. So first we need to reframe behaviors, how we think about behaviors, how we talk about behaviors. Many times we'll hear people talking about quote unquote challenging behaviors, and that we need to like step away from those surface approaches of behaviorism and really do a much better job at seeking to understand the internal whys behind what it is we see, what it is behind the observable behavior. And a lot of people are like, well, like, I don't really like, I don't like this behavior. I'm not agreeing to this behavior. So why should I get curious about this behavior? And just because we're curious about why something is happening, it doesn't mean we are quote unquote condoning it. Like I just had a shoe thrown at my head the other day, like by a student. Okay, I'm not okay with having a shoe thrown at my head. I do not consent to having a shoe thrown at my head. I do not want the shoe thrown at my head ever again. But was I curious about why that student was throwing a shoe at my head? Yes, I was. I knew it wasn't something they were doing to be malicious or be oppositional or be quote unquote attention seeking. Like all of those terms are so damaging. There was a rational reason why, and I wanted to know how I was contributing and what I could do to change the environment, whether that's changing myself because I'm part of the environment or something surrounding that student, so that they could feel more safe, regulated, etc. So just because we're on a quest to understand a person's insides doesn't mean that you necessarily are okay with them doing, what it is they're doing, but we're just on a quest to really get to a solution that actually matches the insides of what's going on.